Hi everyone, my name is Kenny and I'm standing out front of the Winnebago Service Center. I'm here in Forest City, Iowa, having some work done on my RV, including a windshield replacement. I drove up here from Virginia, and the first thing people ask me is, why? Why did you come all the way from Virginia to Forest City, Iowa to have some work done instead of taking it to a local dealer? And the simple answer is trust. I trust Winnebago to be able to take care of my RV properly and efficiently. I also trust that they will have a procedure in place to keep everybody safe while COVID-19 is going on. So these were my main reasons, but I also wanted to bring you guys inside the service center and show you what goes on inside there. We're also going to sit down with Tom Olson, who is the service manager here at the Winnebago Service Center. And he's going to explain some of the advantages of bringing your Winnebago RV here to the service center. So let's head inside and take a look around.
All right, Tom. So thanks for sitting down with me today and going over some of these questions that I have about service for myself and maybe for people that are thinking about coming to Winnebago and having service done here at the Factory Service Center.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how long have you been with Winnebago?
Okay. Well, I started in our production area back in '84 and worked in our production area, worked in quality group for a period of time. Have been in our service center, started here in '87.
That's a long time. I think that's a good sign here.
Yeah, our service group has a very, and that goes beyond just our technicians. We have a very strong tenure here. The warranty department, the customer care folks that work with our dealers and customers over the phone, it's in excess of 20 years on average.
And how many service bays do you have here, and about on an average daily basis, how many RVs can you accommodate?
Well, we've got 39 bays, but some of them are specialized. Some of them are just when the facility was built, the vehicles are smaller, so we aren't able to use them fully this time, so we use them for equipment and that sort of thing. So we've got 34 functioning bays, and we typically will schedule about 32 appointments a week that, because of the length of time that some take, some are going to be in a couple weeks. So we've got, that bay is full, but we still cycle through other coaches. And some coaches are in and out the same day, So we typically schedule 34 appointments at a time. But during the summer months when we've got rally, which we missed out on this year, but we'll run 500-600 units through in a 3-week period of time pretty easily. So we kind of limit the size of the jobs and things to try and accommodate the needs of as many people as we can. So during the winter months, that's when we kind of slow down a little bit as far as the number of coaches, and we take the larger projects on. We'll work on insurance jobs, such as we've had some severe storms in Iowa this year, so we've got a lot of wind damage and things like that. So roof and sidewall replacements, those sorts of things through the winter months. So.
Okay. That's actually why I'm here today, for a windshield replacement.
Okay.
Being covered under insurance.
Okay.
And then you had mentioned during the Winnebago Rally, that's a busy season.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the Winnebago Rally, do you have another busy season? I think you told me that right before winter, you guys get hit a little hard too with the snowbirds.
Right. Yep. We have a lot of folks that come through. Generally around this time of year, we'll have a lot of non-appointments. They figure, well, I'm just going to get winterized, get a couple of things knocked off before I head to Arizona or Florida or Texas or something. So we'll get a lot of folks migrating through. With COVID this year, of course, it's a little less than usual, but we are starting to see that pick up again. So, this time of year, and also in the spring when the folks start coming back. Once the snow is gone from our area, then usually around end of March, beginning of April, we'll start seeing people coming back from down south, heading back home to Michigan or Minnesota or Wisconsin, that sort of thing.
Okay. And then in your own words, could you tell me a little bit of why you feel it's an advantage to have work done here at the service center? I know for me, I drove all the way up from Virginia just to have work done here at Winnebago. I trust you guys, but in your words, what's a reason that somebody should come here?
Well, we've got the latest information from our engineering group as far as things that are coming down the pike. So if somebody is interested in upgrading something on their coach, our folks are going to know what's available. If they want to go to some new technology, for example, something like that. We have availability of parts, rapid availability. I mean, we really pride ourselves on our shipping of parts to our dealers in a timely manner. But of course, just getting it, literally, we've got a building right across here that we get our shower stalls and things like that from. Holding tanks are, 200 yards away. So the availability of parts is a big thing, and our technicians are trained solely to work on Winnebago product. You go to a dealership, their general technicians work on anything from an entry-level towable to potentially a high-end bus style coach from several manufacturers. But so they've got some general knowledge, but maybe not specific knowledge of that product. So we can generally do it more quickly because we know where to go, to address concerns and that sort of thing.
Okay. And then as far as the service center, you had mentioned the parts, great reason to be here. Are there any items on an RV, on a Winnebago, that cannot be serviced here? Is there anything that needs to be outsourced?
Some chassis items, like if you've got a problem with a chassis control module or something like that, transmissions. Some vehicles we do service those, like Ford Class A, for example. But like Freightliner, they have specific service centers for their Allison transmissions, Cummins engines, that sort of thing. That's pretty much about the limit of it.
Another reason why I wanted to come here to Winnebago Factory Service Center was because of our times right now and COVID-19 going on. I knew that you guys would have some type of plan or procedure in place to make sure everybody's being safe. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about your plan and procedure?
You bet. So we were kind of on the front lines when this was announced, and our manufacturing folks, it took longer to develop a process for them just because of the complexity of the operation throughout the facility. So they actually shut down for a period of time. We did not here. We were able to review with our safety team the guidelines that CDC had developed. So our corporate safety team worked closely with us to determine what we needed to do to protect our employees and the customers. Because that, with customers coming from around the country, hotspots and things like that, it's a very critical thing that we address right away. So that we developed a list of questions that we contacted owners and asked, and we follow up a week before their appointment and ask those, actually the Thursday before, so just a few days before their appointment, confirm those questions, have the same answers, and then when they arrive, we ask some screening questions again, take temperatures. We insist that customers in our lobby area and all our technicians have masks on. When our techs meet with owners, they're to wear gloves. When we bring the coaches around, we fog the coaches. It's a twin oxide. It's a chemical that's used by retail stores and things like that. It's 99.97, I think it is, effective against germs. And it doesn't cause any damage to any of the soft goods or things like that. Actually, it can be sprayed on food, and a couple minutes later, it's perfectly fine to eat that food. So it's a non-invasive chemical that we're able to fog the coaches when we bring them in. So then we label the coaches on the windshield that they've been sanitized or not. So if a coach hasn't been sanitized, a technician cannot go into that coach without gloves and a mask on. Once it's been sanitized, then it's in their stall, they're able to work on that without the gloves on. We do ask that they wear masks as much as possible. If they leave their workstation or they have another person working in their area, they both have to be masked up. And so we're very cognizant of taking care of our employees that way. And then before the coach comes back around in the evening or in the afternoon, we fog it again. So that way the owner's protected in case we did happen to have an employee that somehow became infected. Now, again, we never shut down, and we've not had an active case anybody in our shop area test positive for COVID. So we've been successful so far.
That's great. I knew you guys would be taking care of this. And do you have any advice for anybody that's thinking about bringing their Winnebago here for service?
Just kind of think ahead. Plan on the things that you want to have addressed because of the way we structure our appointment schedule, it's difficult to add items later. We always try to leave a bit of a cushion there because there's always something that comes, I should have, done this, but it's hard to, accommodate a large number of ads. So give yourself some pre-planning on what you want to have addressed when you're here so that that's booked in the initial appointment, and also allow time to get that appointment scheduled because much of the summer, even now, we've got probably 2 or 3 appointments available the week of Thanksgiving. Then that week is full. We're booked into December with not completely full, but we have appointments up until the holidays. So
I think that is all my questions, Tom. Is there anything that you wanted to add before I let you go?
I guess one thing I'd mention is that the folks that we have on our team, are here because they enjoy working with customers and satisfying those needs. They come from other areas in the company. We had the opportunity to bring in summer help or flex from production at times when things are slower over there. They've got shut down for maintenance, that sort of thing. So we're able to expose some people to what we do here. And so we do get some people that put in for requests for transfer because they genuinely, most of them enjoy the RV lifestyle, the outside lifestyle. They're kayakers, canoers, campers, and so they want to satisfy the needs of their fellow campers.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tom. I really appreciate you taking the time and talking with me and answering my questions, and I'll be sure to share this with everybody.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, I hope you really enjoyed that interview with Tom. My Vista is finished, the windshield is replaced, it looks great, but I wanted to share my Winnebago Service Center experience with you. It all started at 7 a.m. I had our RV parked out front of the service center. I went and stood in line. We all kept our 6 feet apart. When I got up to the front entrance, my temperature was taken, and I answered the COVID-19 screening questions. I then went to the front desk, filled out some paperwork, and the receptionist let me know that our service tech would be out to talk to us shortly. And she was right. Shortly after filling out the paperwork, Shane, our technician for the day, came out and talked to us about what was being done to our RV. We then went outside, looked at the RV, and I had the opportunity to ask as many questions as I wanted. He then took the keys from me and went around back with the RV. Later on in the day, I got a phone call saying that the RV was finished. I went down to the service center, went up to the front desk to let them know I was there. Shane came back out. We went outside, took a look at the RV to make sure that I was happy with the windshield, which obviously I was. It looks great. We then went inside. Shane gave me some paperwork, and I paid my bill. The process was really that easy. It was very streamlined, and it went smooth. So I'm very happy with how everything turned out. I feel like Winnebago went above and beyond to make me feel comfortable throughout the whole process. If you're thinking about having work done at the Winnebago Service Center, keep in mind that they have the tools, the equipment, and the experience to get the job done right. For a more detailed summary of my Winnebago service experience, check out the article I just wrote for Winnebago Life, now on Winnebago.com. There I include tips for planning, where to stay, where to get water, where to dump your tanks, where to get propane, and a lot more. So go check that out at Winnebago.com. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I want to wish you safe travels. Take care. Bye.